So you're saying there's a chance? A little Dumb and Dumber reference right there. Is there a chance? Well, this is what we're hearing. Boy, maybe, just maybe, we might get some sort of trade deal. People backing off. China signals that they're ready to respond to our U.S. overtures here. It's weighing starting talks with the U.S. to halt a trade war, but only if Washington shows sincerity through concrete measures, such as by canceling tariffs against Beijing. We kind of have been doing that little by little. We got rid of that de minimis exemption. Again, there's supposed to be a handout to a lot of small business owners, probably a lot of resellers on Amazon. It's most certainly going to help Shine and Temu. And, one of the interesting things about that is supposedly that's one of the ways that a lot of drugs get into the country, but we'll just, leave it at that. China's Commerce Ministry is evaluating comments and messages from U.S. officials that express their willingness to negotiate with China on tariffs. China's position is consistent. If you want to fight, we will fight to the end. If you want to talk, our door is wide open. If the U.S. wants to talk, it should show sincerity to talk and be prepared to act in correcting its erroneous actions and canceling unilateral tariffs. China is already eliminating some of the tariffs on our goods as well. Yeah, they are. They need certain various different inputs and materials from the United States. Some of the Asian papers that I follow, particularly was the Times of India, reporting that they're having issues, riots in certain places in China where workers are very upset. They haven't gotten paid. Factories are getting shut down. People being laid off. This is actually from the Economic Times of India. China sees surge in worker protests over unpaid wages, factory closures, and U.S. tariffs. Again, some might think, might be right. We're winning. We're winning this tariff war with China. They're going to come to the table. Again, I want to remind everybody that, again, we're also backing down as well. You're already seeing, again, we talked about Rand Paul and his desire to eliminate the tariffs because, again, it's not an emergency. It's taxation and something that I happen to believe in. But you're actually seeing others as well. Ron Johnson, yesterday being interviewed. I'm hearing an awful lot from manufacturers in Wisconsin. If this thing drags on, the tariffs remain high, their businesses will be out of business. And that's what I get to. I get in my email box various different companies that are either shutting down or planning on shutting down because they just can no longer exist under these tariffs. Again, the other side of the argument, they're not very good businesses, and they should be able to adjust, and they should be able to adapt. The thing is with China, okay, and how China can prevail in this trade war. They just, again, they don't have elections. We do. And the reality is that if they can hold out, they can suppress riots and people that are upset because they've done it before. Okay. Yeah, they hushed up a lot of the stuff that happened during COVID and the COVID lockdowns, but we all saw what happened at Tiananmen Square. Let's understand who these people are and the mentality there. That party is going to want to hold on to power. They need to wait out to the midterms, quite frankly, or they need to wait out till, again, you start seeing more and more Republicans say, hey, well, listen here, this is not working out. My district is being hurt. I'm gonna lose my reelection bid, and they caved. That's our system versus their system. Quite frankly, I like our system better. Some may disagree. Going back to my original argument, talking about China and our need to deal with them in regards to reciprocal tariffs, I totally on board with that. This global thing, I'm not. And part of the reason, okay, is that what it can do, what it can do to the United States, what it's doing to the United States in regards to, because you're already hearing it from CEOs already saying, hey, listen, this is a problem. People are not buying our products. Multinational corporations are working overseas. There's most certainly been a blowback to the American brand. We've obviously talked about tourism over the past week and how it's been affected here in the United States. But that's just a start. I mean, we saw what happened. Trump was forced to give the 90-day pause. He was forced to do that. No doubt about it. He saw what was happening in the bond market. We've already seen what has happened to the dollar and the fall that has taken place. You need to understand, I'm going to try to get you into my mind. Again, people have been listening to this program for some time. We deal with risk. Okay? That's what we deal with every single day. Risk and reward. What is the thing I say countless times, whether it be on the radio show, whether it be on the podcast? You never, ever, ever let risk lead to ruin. Never. Let me give you an example. Company that's in many of our portfolios for our clients, Nvidia, that we've had for years. It's done pretty well. Some, again, people who are not thoughtful would say, wow, man, I bet you wish you loaded up and went all in on Nvidia 10 years ago. No, because first and foremost, it's wrong. You don't have any sort of hindsight when it comes to you can't see what's going to happen into the future. And granted, the stock did phenomenal. The company did great. But what if it didn't? What if it didn't do well? What if something else popped up? See, this is one of the things is I comprehend that I don't know what I don't know. And I know that I can't see into the future. And I am no way, no how, never going to happen in a million years. Am I going to do, I don't care how sold I am on a company's prospects. Am I going to go out and take an oversized position in something that could let risk lead to ruin? And in many respects, I go off on hedge funds all the time for doing that. That long-term capital management led by a bunch of super smarty pants Nobel laureates in economics needed to be bailed out. They're going to take the global economy down. How many times have we highlighted garbage funds, hedge funds, various different actors out there that, again, were too smart for their own good? Got to go all in. You don't let risk lead to ruin. Why shouldn't Trump upset the apple cart and break things and do stuff? Why? Well, what if it doesn't work? I listen, people. Like I said, I understand. I said from the get-go, a scalpel, not a chainsaw, a scalpel, and you handle these things the right way. Now, you take a look at some of the economic numbers that came out today, and everybody's jumping up and down for joy. Wow, look at the April jobs report, and isn't it awesome? It's a great number, fantastic number. But that number, quite frankly, as of right now, is meaningless. It's meaningless. We've already seen what happened to GDP. I explained to you the GDP report in regards to the import-export caveat in there, and the fact that so many companies were front running their buy orders prior to the tariffs kicking in. We don't know what's going to happen. Again, I quite frankly, I don't know. Maybe many businesses out there will hold off on firing people and hoping that, this is going to all come to some sort of end sooner rather than later. Again, when you bring on employees and you train them, there's a cost involved with that. We'll see. We'll see. Again, maybe, cooler heads will prevail. Both China and the United States will work something out moving forward. This is a good sign. And quite frankly, that's the reason why the markets at the open were up today. Have to tread very carefully. Have to tread very carefully moving forward. Again, like I said, understand who, I'm going to do a little Sun Tzu, The Art of War. You better understand who we are having this tariff war against, or this quasi-embargo. Some of the embargo stuff is going away as of late, and what they're capable of doing that we're not capable of doing here in the United States. And once again, we have individual rights and liberties here in this country. They don't. You send them, you got some sort of riot out of factory, they'll shut that thing down, but quick. And it's everyone's pain tolerance. Our pain tolerance, a little bit different. Little bit different because we are a republic. Watchdog on Wall Street.com.